Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Blender Side Quest. Today we're going to be making these duality or dual nature typography effects. This is not only limited to typography, you can use it for making some epic branding stuff with your logos. Before we move forward, I really want to thank my patrons who've been supporting this channel for a really long time. If you want access to these project files and my asset packs, make sure to check out my Patreon. And without wasting any more time, let's head into Blender. Okay, inside of Blender, let me create my first text layer and I'm gonna call it typo. Let's duplicate our layer and press tab, change it to love or whatever you want, Now let's rotate these text layers so they are facing forward, and let's also rotate one of them so it's in 90° to the other one. Now make sure you're aligning the ends of the text to the z-axis line so that you have a perfect intersection on the edge. Let's also make sure that your text layers are equal in height. Now this is because if you have a curved character like O or Q or D which is not flat on the top, you might have this sort of behavior in your scene which is not desirable. So make sure to keep them equal in height in both direction, up and down. Now let's add a solidify modifier, and if your modifier sometimes glitches out and creates some weird extrusions in different direction, you should try to change the extrusion type to complex. That works in some cases. Now let's add the same modifier in the other text. Now you also want to make sure that both of these extrusions happen beyond the vertex of the other character. If you extrude love, then it should extrude beyond the last vertex of typo, and if you extrude typo, it should be beyond the last vertex of love. Now right click on these text layers and convert them to mesh. Add a boolean modifier onto one of the mesh, and I'm going to disable it right now so it doesn't start processing. I'll choose the other mesh as the object and change the boolean operator to intersect. Fast solver doesn't work in this case, so I'll use the exact one. Now drop down the solver options and in the material options choose transfer. Also enable self intersection. Now enable the modifier and you'll see the desired effect. Now you can apply this effect, create vertex groups to apply different materials, but when we selected transfer option in the material drop down, it will let us do this automatically. Now without applying the modifier, give different materials to both of these meshes, and the modifier automatically applies the materials to desired faces. Now apply the modifier and you can make whatever animations you want with this. Another thing you might want to do is to take this geometry into geometry nodes, convert it into a volume, then add a volume to mesh node. This will let you remesh it. Now the edges are a little choppy, so we'll add a set position node, add a position node, add a blur attribute node, change it to vector and increase the iterations. Now connect this to the set position node and this will give you a naive remesh plus smooth modifier. This will give you a smoother looking end product which is a little more desirable in some cases. So you should definitely try these effects in your own projects and let me know if it turns out good. So that's it for this episode, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out my Patreon for my asset packs. Thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.